My name is Barry Allen. And I am the fastest man alive.
Listen to me. There's a war coming. A terrible war.
You have failed this city.
I got dizzy there from all that head banging.
You did. I
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the Fandom Zone podcast. And with me, as always, is the ever-incredible Karen Lindsay.
Hello.
And I'm Charles Skaggs, that Charles guy that you may have on your dartboard somewhere. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, or you may be one of the crazy kids following him on the Google
crazy kids
Plus.
Google Plus, yes. Well played.
Thank you.
Today we're here at episode 23, getting up there, getting close to 25.
I know, landmark
Episode coming up. We got to do something a little bit, maybe for 25. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
We got to think about that.
Sure.
But
I'll bake a cake.
Okay. I will go to the store and get a cake. Because I don't want to kill people with my cooking, because my cooking sucks. I've tried.
I can bake a cake from scratch.
I can make a grilled cheese.
I don't even need a box.
I can make a grilled cheese sandwich. I can fry steakums up or hamburger. I can cook hamburger.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so I'm not totally.
I can actually make hamburger and cook it.
Yeah.
Grind it.
You actually grind it from the cow?
Not from the cow, from a steak.
Okay. All right. That would have been really impressive.
But my great uncle has a slaughterhouse. So I've been to a slaughterhouse before.
That would come in handy.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But it's in San Jose. So.
Okay. Now, do you know the way to San Jose?
I do.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's that taken care of. Okay. For all you people wondering if she knew the way to San Jose. So, this week we're going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, Episode 2, and Birds of Prey, Episode 10.
That's right.
So, which one would you like to cover first?
Let's start with Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, kind of like the appetizer between the main course.
That's right.
Before the main course, I should say.
Yep.
All right. So, Episode 10, Gladiatrix.
Did you know I was going to do that?
It's by Pontiac. No, wasn't that their sound effect? Didn't they have?
That was a Jaguar.
Jaguar sound effect.
For Jaguar, yeah.
Okay, I knew it was something like that. All right.
That is the Jaguar sound.
This is a Jaguar sound. Okay, but rawr. Okay.
Yeah, Gladiatrix.
Gladiatrix. Not Dominatrix, but you know.
No, but it's got tricks on the end of it.
That's right. And because tricks are for kids.
No, not in this case. They are not.
Okay, so this episode was written by David H. Goodman and directed by David Carson.
Mm-hmm.
And you may go think to yourself, where do I know David Carson's name from? That sounds a little familiar.
That's right.
And Karen, why don't you tell us a little bit about both?
Sure. He is very familiar to you if you know anything about the Star Trek universe, because he worked on Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek DS9, and he directed Star Trek Generations. And my little tidbit, which I surprised Charles with, was that he is the person that inspired Jonathan Frakes to start directing.
Which I did not know that.
That's right. He worked on Generations, and Jonathan Frakes watched him like a hawk, apparently, and then Jonathan Frakes directed the next movie. So that's what got him into directing.
Which, ironically, was a better movie than David Carson's movie.
Well, hey.
Because
but that was the writing.
First Contact was a much better movie than Generations.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But that was mostly the writing.
Right.
That made it a better movie. I mean, the directing was good on both movies.
Didn't Ronald D. Moore have a hand in First Contact, or am I mistaken?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not. But
I
either
don't
way,
know off the top of my head.
it was a better story. So
It was definitely.
And David H. Goodman, where do we know him from?
Once Upon a Time, Fringe, Without a Trace, things like that. He's all over the sci-fi world.
He worked on Fringe. He's okay in my book.
That's right. Those are, I only put down, just so you guys know,
Right.
I only put down shows where they've worked on 5 or more episodes. So it's
Actually,
not just a one-off.
That they actually have a resume.
Correct.
As opposed to just, a little trivia bit or, a little tidbit. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. This one is essentially boils down to, Huntress in a fight club.
Yes.
That's the premise.
Mm-hmm. In fact, that is how this episode has been described many times.
Mm-hmm.
Fight Club for girls.
Right.
Period. I mean, there is a summary on IMDb for this episode.
Right.
And one of the summaries is Fight Club for
girls. Yeah.
Right. Period. Which I find funny that it's just like period and then nothing else after it at all. It's they
nothing more needs to be said about that episode.
They have those colored boxes around the summaries.
Yeah.
It's like a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And the bubble is just one line. Just one line full. And then there's another bubble and it says, yep,
Obviously, a lot of in-depth analysis on the episode.
Exactly.
But that's okay, because that's why we're here.
Right.
We're here to talk. We're here to provide more than just the one bubble that's empty.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt like, people should be putting like, yep, and then the other one, what they said, and then the person underneath should be putting carrots, like arrows facing up. Yep, this,
Maybe just like an ugh.
Exactly.
Or sigh.
Yeah, and there's definitely summarizing to be had.
Right.
As far as this episode goes, but as far as like the mythos of this series goes,
right. Well, one of the things I noticed in this episode, and it's kind of been happening in the past few episodes we've been reviewing, the Harley Quinn subplot. Where the hell is it?
Right. Gone.
Right. Because, I can't remember the last episode. I think it was like 3 episodes ago.
3 episodes ago.
We saw Harley.
Right.
You're big bad. And, I don't know if these were just episodes that were originally intended to be earlier, got reshuffled in the order, but...
Yeah. That information is lost in the ether, I'm sure, whether these are supposed to be shuffled around or not. But
you think they at least give us a little one scene, remind us that, oh, by the way, Harley Quinn's still lurking out there.
Right. Or
somewhere.
Were they cut? Were these scenes cut? Did they have the hubris to think that the show was going to go on for 1 million seasons?
It's okay. We got time.
Right.
No worries. It's cool. We'll get to it.
I mean, it really should have been something that they should have taken on as a 1-season arc.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, whether it was going to be. I mean, they might have thought, hey, look, Smallville's, been going on for several years now. Why shouldn't we be, And, of course, Smallville went on to go 10 seasons, but this was not going to happen.
Yeah. And then, sadly, we know from our own experience that in 2014 and 2015, Constantine kind of did the same thing, where they planned out a little long-term arc and then never resolved it by the 13th episode, and then it got canceled, and you're like, what about the arc, guys? What
kind of makes me wonder that, maybe if they move the story along faster, they'd be a little more successful with their series.
So so advice to all of you showrunners out there, if you're listening, it's okay to plot some more. Provide more substance early on. Don't just pad things out and then hope that they'll pay off later, okay?
Push the arc.
Yeah. Move things forward or you're going to be left behind.
There you go. Oh, that's deep. I like it. I like it. You're fast on your feet, young man.
Well, I am a Flash fan. Swoosh.
I know you are.
Yes. So
I'm getting hyped up for the new season. I don't know about you, but
I saw the Arrow trailer yesterday.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it?
Well, that little flashing, 50 microseconds of John Constantine, and that was the only thing I cared about in the trailer.
He's on the phone. I
Yeah,
know.
he picks up the phone, a cell phone, and it's like, Constantine,
I know.
Yes.
There's a site that goes, it doesn't go frame by frame, but it goes like
Yes.
little vignette by vignette.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see who each person is in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I just lingered on that. And I'm like, oh, Matt Ryan, thank you for coming back. Oh, hello.
And I was like, oh, he's got the blonde hair. He's got the trench coat. Yay.
I know, it's so good. He's got to become a recurring character on that show. He just has to. He has to.
Or at least come through with like every so often like a 3-episode arc or something.
Well, that would be recurring.
Well, yeah, but
I'm in for that.
Yeah,
Big
something.
time. Yeah.
But okay, now I want my Flash season 2 trailer.
That's right. Yeah.
Where's that, CW?
I know.
So.
What is this bizarre segue?
Yeah. Shut up. Shush you. Shut up, Blaine. All right, Birds of Prey. Fine.
Sorry.
We'll talk about it. All right. So.
Well, but the thrust was.
Yes.
Of this conversation
Yes.
was that they weren't pushing any storyline here.
Right.
That this was a one-off episode and.
Yeah. Filler. It was filler.
And kind of meh.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some good stuff in this episode.
Right.
It wasn't a horrible episode,
but it wasn't a great episode.
Yeah.
If you're burning through the DVD set, it's not mandatory. You could skip it and not get lost.
Right. That little button that's got a slash and a arrow to the right of it.
Yeah.
You can press that button.
Okay.
It's got like a bar and an arrow. Press that. It'll take you right past it.
This could get us back on the arrow discussion. We better move along.
You know, it looks like a fast forward, but it's got that little bar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean. Okay. Yes.
The one that says, next. Next. You can just hit that button, next.
Click.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, I have done that on episodes such as this.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, this episode, we open up, basically, you've got your woman walking down a darkened street at night and by herself, basically begging to be attacked by criminal elements.
Mm-hmm.
And which she does.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is a big city, right?
Right. Supposedly.
So why are there never any cars or other people on the street?
Because it was filmed on a studio lot.
Yeah, I get that, but
and they're cheap.
Okay, but there's never any cars on the street.
Well,
there's never any other people walking around.
We don't know how late she was walking. If it was 3 a.m,
there would still be cars on the street.
I know. No.
And there would still be people walking around.
There's a curfew. No. No.
Sure.
No. All right. Anyway.
It's just, just one of those little nits that goes like this. Why is there no one else there? It really bugs me. Really bugs me.
Okay, so she's walking down the street with no cars.
And no people.
And no people.
Huntress.
Yep.
And Dinah.
Well, no, before they show up.
Yeah, the bad guy.
The bad guy. This bad guy with like one eye.
Yeah, but they're there too already.
Yeah, right.
Huntress and Dinah are there already.
They're patrolling. Yeah. They're patrolling the streets with no cars and no people.
Right.
Apparently, the only people out on the street are bad guys
and Huntress and Dinah
and victims.
Right.
Yeah.
And Huntress and Dinah happen to be on the site of the only crime happening in the city.
Yeah.
That would.
Well, that's why they go on patrol, because they know they walk around and the crimes just happen in front of them.
And it's the only crime that would apply to them.
Mm-hmm.
In this case.
So what you're saying is there should have been at least like a shriek, and then they come running from wherever they were.
Of course.
Or something.
But this is the only crime that would actually apply to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy also would want them.
Right.
So.
Now, how about this for a theory?
Mm-hmm.
Since you started this.
Sure.
Okay. Is it possible that maybe they saw the woman walking and then decided to follow her in case a criminal showed up?
Okay. Yes, that might be true.
Okay.
That's good. Still, there's no cars.
No. Well, they're
I
just
don't
walking
wanna-
around anyway, so.
I really don't want to nitpick this. I really don't. It's just, it bothers me. And I've been wanting to bring this up forever.
Yeah,
And this one is just glaring,
it is.
isn't it?
It is.
In this case?
I know where you're coming from.
Okay.
I get it.
And the other ones, it's kind of a...
Yeah.
It's kind of glaring in the one with
Yeah.
the Shaolin, whatever her name is.
Oh, you mean Leda Shiva?
Yeah.
Okay.
When she and Batgirl are fighting and
Yeah.
there's no one else on the street but one lone parked car.
Right.
That it's kind of glaring there too. But you kind of forgive it because it's a flashback and you think, well, maybe she's misremembering.
Right.
She only sees them fighting. She doesn't see cars, But this one's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you don't even have you can't get the crew to be extras.
Right.
Not
Just
speaking
milling about.
Just walk in the background.
Right. In fact, that would make it more impactful, right?
Right, because
Would show how
bystanders,
gritty.
you have bystanders that could be hurt.
Not just that, but it would show how gritty New Gotham is, that no one would come to their aid.
Mm-hmm.
That people would just walk by. That's how much crime is in the city. That people would just walk by and go, I'm not helping them.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how Gotham City is.
But this is New Gotham.
See, now you're laughing, but I'm serious. Isn't that how bad and corrupt Gotham City? New Gotham too. I mean, yeah.
Well,
It's just so dark.
New Gotham's so clean, much cleaner than.
It's still bad.
I know.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's built on it. Gotham City is built on a hellmouth. It should be bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so anyway,
To use a Buffy the Vampire
and
Slayer.
we can skim this story. if
Okay, all right. We will skim. Well, I wasn't going to go through it whole.
Okay, good.
I was just going to hit
Because
some highlights.
We don't need to bore our listeners with the whole story.
Well, to be fair, if they were bored, they could just fast forward to when we talk about Fear the Walking Dead.
Shush! How would
I'm just pointing out the obvious.
guys? We're gonna make this interesting.
We have smart listeners. They would figure this out.
Okay, so continue to listen though, because we're
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll throw it when we'll say stupid stuff and we sing and all that. So you guys like that.
That's
So
right.
that's your reason for hanging around.
Right on.
Right on, exactly. Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
That just reminds me. I watched the I know we're gonna hit Blaine here any second, but
No.
I just watched The Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Do you know the movie?
Come out and play, yay!
I was thinking of at the beginning where you've got this guy that's essentially like a big community leader of all the gangs across New York,
Right.
and he's like, "Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Can you dig it?"
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
That movie is so bad, it's good.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, this is a movie made in the 1970s, so right there.
Mm-hmm.
In New York City, and you have gangs that they all have matching outfits and costume.
Each gang.
Each gang has its own style, fashion style.
Right.
One gang just wears no shirts, but with leather vests over that. That's the Warriors. They're the heroes of the movie.
Right.
And then you have other gangs like guys that dress up as New York Yankees baseball players, and they have makeup on their faces, not just like eye black, but they have one side of their face is black, the other side's white.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some gangs are like mimes. They're
Right.
dressed like street mimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have what are the other ones? What are some of the other ones I'm thinking of?
Hold on.
You're doing the research,
I am.
but I'm trying to think what are the other silly things. You had gangs that were guys who had roller skates on.
Mm-hmm.
They were patrolled the subway
So-
stations with roller skates.
Hold on a minute.
So yeah, it's just a bizarre, surreal movie.
We had the Rogues, the Warriors,
Yeah,
the Riffs.
we had a girl gang that kind of they try to be like the honeypot trap that seduces the Warriors, and then they try to kill them.
The Orphans.
Yeah, that's the lame gang. The Orphans. Because there's like a gang that like everybody just laughs at him, and there's one of the girls or the young women. She's like, "Okay, you guys are so lame. I'm out of here," and she leaves with the Warriors because the other guys are so pathetic.
They're the Lizzies.
Yeah, the girl gang. Yeah, that's the Lizzies.
And the Baseball Furies
Yeah,
is one. Swan and Mercy.
it's a very bizarre movie.
Yeah, and the lead is Michael Beck.
Yeah, but also James Remar is in this movie, and he does a lot of. I think he did the voice of Hawkman on Justice League Unlimited,
I think so too.
if I'm not
But
mistaken.
Michael Beck is also known for another B movie. Do you know what he's known for?
I do not.
One of my very favorite B movies, Xanadu.
Ooh, with Olivia Newton-John.
Yep. I love that movie.
Xanadu.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. Okay. Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get through this, I promise, quickly. Okay, so what we find out is there's a fight club. Huntress ends up getting captured, put into the fight club, and she's injected with this drug that's supposed to like make her all ragey.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other women that have been locked in, and they're all in like, what's interesting about this is like they've got them all in what they call titanium cells.
Right. By the way, yes, he was the voice.
Okay, cool.
James
I
Remar.
was right. All right, excellent.
Good job.
Thank you. That one was off the top of my head. I wasn't sure.
It's very nice. I had to look it up.
I get right eventually. You just have to wait.
Mhm. Dexter.
So they go through this, and there's like, women are in titanium cells, and they have these like punishment collars, like it's something out of a '60s Star Trek episode.
Yeah. Very bad.
Yeah. And it's like all the bad guy Malcolm, who's played by Donovan Leitch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell us about Donovan Leitch?
Sure. Donovan Leitch is the son of Donovan Leitch,
Mm-hmm.
who is actually Donovan, the singer.
That's for you kids out there. There was a singer in the '60s. He did this song called "Sunshine Superman."
Yep.
And
Mellow Yellow.
and "Season of the Witch," which is my personal favorite.
Season of the Witch. And Donovan Leitch, we couldn't figure out what we knew him from, and apparently we don't know him from anything.
Yeah, we tried. Like, he has that kind of face that looks familiar. Like, I know that guy from somewhere. You don't know him from anywhere.
No, you don't know him from anywhere. I do know him because I'm a huge Monkees fan.
Mm-hmm.
And
which I respect because I'm a huge Monkees fan as well, but not apparently as big as you.
No, I was way into it. In fact, I was kind of like co-head of a Michael Nesmith fan club.
Oh, that's serious.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
So Michael Nesmith's son, Jason Nesmith, had a band called Nancy Boy
Right.
with Donovan Leitch.
Ah.
So
that's the connection.
That's how I knew him, but not by face.
Okay.
So I didn't recognize his face. Okay. And he is the brother of Ione Skye.
Oh.
So.
Who was the girl from Say Anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm on fire today.
That's right. And his name in the show is Malcolm Lagg, L-E-G-G.
Mm-hmm.
I looked that up. Of course, it's a new villain. It's not
right. 2003.
Established.
This episode was out.
Right, but it's no established DC villain at all.
Nope, brand new character.
Right. It's the same name as a character on Coronation Street.
Yeah, British soap opera. Yeah, but
right. But I doubt it has any correlation.
I think it's purely coincidental.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But on a side note, the Monkees were my first favorite band.
Excellent. Me too.
As a kid, I loved the Monkees.
And see
I watched reruns as a kid. Loved the Monkey Show.
The reason I love Mike Nesmith
mm-hmm.
and secondarily Peter Tork is because they were the musicians in the Monkees.
Right.
Davy Jones is my least favorite Monkee because
the late Davy Jones.
Yes. R.I.P.
Yep.
No, not that I didn't like him because I liked all of them.
Mickey was my favorite. Mickey Dolenz.
And Mickey's okay because he did play. He learned to play his instruments.
Right.
But Michael Nesmith and Peter Tork came to the Monkees already being musicians. And they balked against things because they were told.
Yeah. But Davy sang. So it's not like he contributed.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a singer.
He was okay with just being like a face.
Yeah, they give him the maracas because you don't have to have any skill to play the maracas.
Right.
Yeah.
He kind of went along with it, and he didn't care that
Yeah.
that other people played instruments for them. And
But he was a singer. He didn't really.
Yeah,
As a
I
singer,
know.
you don't need to play an instrument.
It's true.
You sing.
Yeah, I just was like, not for me. I mean, yeah, whatever. But Mike was always my favorite.
Yeah. I also have the vinyl for the very first Monkees album.
That's cool. I like that.
Yep.
I had all of Mike Nesmith's albums, all of them.
Yep.
Vinyl.
It's not mint condition, but I've got it.
Still.
Yeah.
That's good. It's hard to get them in mint condition.
Oh, I know.
Because all the screaming girls treated them.
Well, I was like 5 years old, so yeah, you can play it, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
All right. So now that we digressed totally on that.
It's all right.
And okay, back to Birds of Prey.
Yep.
We're gonna get through this episode. I can feel it. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Huntress is in the Fight Club. One of the things I thought was funny about this, Oracle ends up calling Reese.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Because she's trying to get information about this symbol, which leads them ultimately to the Fight Club, Gladiatrix.
I enjoyed that conversation, by the way.
And he tells her, like, he fills her in about the Fight Club. And one of the things that I thought was funny was Oracle was surprised that men would want to watch women fight.
Yeah, duh.
And I'm thinking, like, here we are, 2015. Ronda Rousey might have something to say about that.
But not just that. Even back then.
I know.
Of course men would want to watch women fight.
You had, women boxers, like they would have guys, like...
Not just women boxers. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah. Cat fights.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what these were.
I know.
I mean, it's not like you put them in boxing gear.
Right.
They were just in street clothes.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cat fights, as it were.
And you had Huntress, which made it even more of a cat fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Rawr.
Also, when she called him, I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Reese, this is Oracle. And she started in, and he says, hey, wait.
Yeah.
Are you just going to get right into the call? And she goes, hi, how are you doing? Fine? Yeah. Okay.
I kind of love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, I have no time for small talk, dude. Fine.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. We're on a mission here.
She has an opening conversation just in like 2 sentences, and then she goes right back to,
I know you're a cop and you have all the time in the world to talk, but
I do not.
I have things to do.
Right. So funny.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, okay, you might have banter with Huntress,
Right.
not with me.
Right.
I am not your pal. I am not your
I'm not your
love
girlfriend.
interest.
Yep.
No. Do that with Huntress. Be bantery with her.
Mm-hmm.
I am not it.
I did like that exchange. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, very cute.
That was good. So kudos to
And it shows the difference too between the dynamic that he has with Huntress and anyone else.
Exactly. So anyway, that Huntress ends up talking her way out of her cell and into the fight ring.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's trying to protect this woman named Claire, who's all jacked up on the rage drug.
Right.
Which affects the amygdala.
That's right.
And then she ends up being the champion. She refuses to kill this champion named Kayla. And the crowd's not happy. They're like, boo, because it's a crowd. And it's like totally stereotypical guys. They're all smoking cigars and, it's like a total like boys club or, like gentlemen's club. And so it's, yeah, anyway.
I like when she tries to give Claire her food.
Mm-hmm.
And because Claire is on the drugs, she's all paranoid. And
right.
Antagonistic.
What did you do to my food?
What did you put in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all crazy.
And if this was made today, Huntress would have said, well, I peed in it, but.
And I thought to myself, well, all she'd have to do is eat a little bit of it to show her that she didn't put anything in it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
She's like, okay, can I have my food back? No.
So dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. So the other thing I did like about this episode was Reese calls back again with more info, saying that the half the police force is like part of the clientele for Gladiatrix, which is good to know that Gotham, even if it's new Gotham, is still corrupt as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
And what I liked was Oracle has Alfred meet Reese out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
She sets up a little rendezvous point where Alfred gives Reese this communicator so he can infiltrate and get inside the club and radio what's going on to her, relay. So it was very cool to see Alfred actually given something to do this episode and actually
Right.
was contributing to the storyline. So I like that. Dinah, of course, is having her little snit. Early on in the episode, she wants to pick a fight with Huntress. Huntress is like, please. Girl, please.
Yeah.
Not happening.
No.
And but then, of course, she ends up like she kind of gets up in Oracle's grill, wants to go look for Huntress, and she kind of like is ready to go get angry with her, and Huntress or Oracle's just like, okay, go.
Right.
I thought it was kind of funny. Like, go, get out of my hair.
Out.
Leave me.
Yeah. I got better things to do.
Go get your exact. I got Oracle things to do. I have hair samples to analyze.
Nice callback to last week's episode.
Well, yeah, because there's more hair samples being analyzed in this episode.
I know.
Yeah, because what
Oracle has got no F's to give in this episode, right?
pretty much.
Yeah. She's good.
I ain't got time for your love interest or your little pissy, like, teenage angst. I've got things to do.
Reese, I have things to do. And you also
Right.
things to
Yep.
do. Get out.
Everybody
She's
shut
stressed.
everybody shut up. The adults are talking.
That's right.
So,
And I am it. Get out.
yep. So
I'm getting him.
while we're screw you guys, I'm going back to the Oracle Cave. But so as on the subject of those hair samples,
Yeah.
one of
So
the things
dumb again.
it is one of the things that she finds from a dead body that Reese came across was that there was a mud sample identical to old Gotham before the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Because sure,
Right.
did the mud change after the earthquake?
It shouldn't have.
Apparently it did.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have.
There's old Gotham mud and there's new Gotham mud, and
It shouldn't have.
apparently there's a distinction. But
Because an epoch has not
yeah,
changed, and that's the only way it would have really
yeah.
changed.
But we do kind of get some understanding that okay, there was an old Gotham and there was an earthquake. So
Okay, yeah,
so apparently the No Man's Land storyline sort of happened in this continuity.
I get that.
Yeah, so we did get a little bit of that, but and then in the second, now this is, mind you, this is from the same hair sample.
Right.
So she found that there was mud, and then she also found that there was traces of the amygdala drug in the hair sample.
Right. Because it's pristine, except for
Yes.
the mud on it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have one strand of hair and there's mud on it, and
She's so good. She's so good. What she did is,
unless Reese like took the dead body and like get a big scalp.
well, maybe that's true. One sample could mean all of the hair.
Or something, like a good patch of hair, like a good chunk.
Sure.
He just pulled out the pocket knife and went,
Yep.
here's your sample. But
Mhm.
yeah. So, yeah. So Dinah gets herself captured because Dinah.
Because Dinah.
Yeah.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's all you need.
Because, yes.
And of course, she gets injected with the same drug, so she
Yep.
get all ragey.
Yep. And see, this is a mirror also to the beginning of the episode where they go out together and they're fighting.
Right.
Because, Huntress won't let her
Fight. Yeah.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the whole big theme of the episode is Huntress won't let me fight.
Right.
So I'm going to fight Huntress.
Right.
And then, of course, we fight, and then Huntress respects me, so then she will go out and let me fight.
Right.
Right?
Except Huntress held back in the ring.
Yeah.
Which is why Dinah could have beaten her.
I did like the fact that Huntress says, "Oh well, I didn't have Oracle in my ear giving me a
like
knife."
you did,
Yeah,
right?
you did.
And the fact that I'm not on the drugs and I
Yeah.
actually let you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Reese
He
and
doesn't go into that, but hey, whatever.
I know.
Whatever.
Whatever. So Reese, gets a hold of
Because Dinah.
Well, okay. Oracle figures out that, hey, if we just inject them again, it'll be like an antidote because what it will do, it will flood the amygdala.
Right. Which is
So,
dumb.
which is dumb. It's like, okay, you're affecting the amygdala, and then you're really going to fry it with a second dose. So that makes everything okay.
Right.
It's not snake venom.
No. It's your brain.
Yes.
Your
I think
brain.
of somebody thinking of like, okay, well, how do we defeat a poison? Well, you do it with another poison, and that counteracts it.
Right.
But
Well, it would work that way on your brain, but it would have to it would take days,
yeah,
weeks.
well, we don't have days or weeks. We have 45 minutes.
Right.
So yeah,
Because neurological issues are difficult.
yeah,
And sometimes you have to ramp things up and ramp things down in your brain.
yep,
Trust me, I know. I have neurological issues.
yeah. You're kind of an expert on this.
I am kind of.
Yeah,
So
an authority.
you would most likely have to ramp up anything that would affect your amygdala.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good thing. I mean, this guy wouldn't care, so he would just inject you with it, and it would hurt you. But in order to get rid of it, they would probably have to ramp you up on the drug to get rid of it in order not to fry your amygdala completely, which would, take away your memory, your decision making, your rage issues, all that stuff. That's your amygdala controls all of that. So you would essentially pretty much just be kind of a
Monster, Raiji monster.
Yeah, you'd be kind of, you wouldn't be able to control your emotions, and you'd also wouldn't be able to remember anything.
Right.
So you wouldn't know why you're mad, but you'd be mad.
And while we're on the subject of amygdala, there is a Batman villain called Amygdala, which would have been great in this episode. Hey, you're affecting the amygdala. Well, hey, here we just happen to have a Batman villain that is has his amygdala affected.
Right.
So he's like this big hulking raging monster.
Right.
But we don't use him.
Nope. We use this new guy.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have rights to him.
Maybe. I don't. Yeah, it's hard to say because the Batman movie rights. So to be fair, they may not have had the rights.
Or to not be fair, they didn't know enough about Batman mythos.
We don't have to be fair here in the Fandom Zone podcast.
That's right. Some of these people just didn't know anything about the DC universe, and that is a kind of obscure character.
Yeah, I
know. It's not the Joker.
If they would have had a consultant who could have told them about it.
Yeah.
But
I know.
But this was before Jeff Johns rose to power. So it's not quite.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was around. He
was writing. He was writing, I think, JSA or something at this point. If I'm not mistaken.
He was. I think so.
Maybe The Flash, too. I'm trying to remember. Might have been about this time.
He was just kind of getting his feet.
Yeah, he was his career was ascending. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Do we have anything else we want to talk about this episode, or do we want to just move along?
I can give you a list of the people because some of the people are interesting that were in the episode.
That would be good.
Okay. Abby Brummel as Claire, and she was in the unit. Dot Marie Jones as one of the guards.
Yeah, I knew her from somewhere.
She played the coach on Glee.
Ooh, okay.
Do you know from that?
I don't watch Glee.
Okay, well, it's done.
Yeah.
She's been in a lot of other things, too.
I just know all the actors end up on Flash and Arrow, so I don't know what's up with that.
She hasn't been on Flash and Arrow, though.
Yeah, she will.
I don't know.
Give her time. She'll be there.
Nikki Martin played Marianne Travis, and she is a celebrity spokesperson for the Food Saver vacuum sealer.
Well, now, our career has done really well.
But she also appears on many cooking shows.
Okay, maybe that's her thing.
Yeah, she's a food expert, apparently. She's been on shows with Bobby Flay and stuff. So
okay.
Katie Rowe as Kayla. She's like a big stunt person now. Gone on to do stunt work on Scandal, The Mindy Project, and Monk, amongst a million other shows. The show was originally titled SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing the WWE stepped in.
I'm guessing. There's pop culture references everywhere. Just in the first few pages of the script, I counted 3.
Okay.
Rocky, Charlie Brown teacher, the wizard
Yeah.
from the Wizard of Oz. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's all over this episode. So, David H. Goodman, I mean, hello.
He's a pop culture junkie. I
guess so.
I respect that.
Yeah. This is Dinah's first hero episode.
Right.
Which is, they've referred to that a couple times. And this is my little nit. I mean, there's nits to be had in this episode, but I don't know if this is the actress or the writers, but Dinah says anyways.
She loves that word, doesn't she?
And it hurts me every time.
It's like a dagger.
It is. Does it hurt you when people say anyways?
No, not really.
No, it bothers me.
That's
There's no such word.
Anyways, well.
See, no.
I know.
It's anyway.
I know.
Always.
Right.
It's anyway. So just so you guys know out there is no word that's anyways. I'm training my husband not to say it.
Good luck with that.
It's a colloquialism.
Right.
It's anyway. Always. So it makes me grit my teeth every time I hear her say that.
So if you ever want to make Karen mental, say anyways.
Mental. Yeah. Mental.
Make a mental.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. And I think I'm changing my grade.
Okay.
Now that we've talked about.
So what's your grade?
I had it at 7.5.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go 6.5.
That's pretty bad when you drop the grade in the middle of the review after thinking about it a little bit more.
Too many nits. So I have 6.5. Girl Fighter 2 Electric Hands Boogaloo.
Nice. Very nice.
Because he said electric
hands, yeah.
In the beginning.
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite all-time sequel name.
Is it? Yeah, mine too.
Every time I go on the internet and they start talking about like X movie or whatever has like a sequel coming out, and it's going to be, that's the easy joke name is name of the movie : Electric Boogaloo.
Right, exactly. So I put Electric Hands Boogaloo.
Yeah.
In this case, so yeah. So I'm glad I made.
It's like if there was a new Jurassic Park movie, you go Jurassic Park Electric Boogaloo.
Right. Exactly. So it's Girl Fighter 2 Electric Hands.
Well, I was a little kinder to this episode, not by much though.
Yeah.
I gave it 7 out of 10 trank darts to the neck.
Yeah.
Dart in your neck.
I can't do it anymore. I used to be able to do that. Yeah. It's now with the mic, it's no good. You don't want to pop in the mic. So yeah. We're discussing this too much.
Yeah, I know. All right. So let's cleanse the palate.
Let's do.
Take a drink. Wash that horrible aftertaste of the episode away.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad episode.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's talk some Fear the Walking Dead, which was considerably better.
Sorry. I love that sound effect so much. I'm so vain.
That's okay.
It's the worst.
It's okay. Go for it. I don't have anything that says Charles, so that's good.
There's yours.
We miss you, Papa Midnight.
Yeah.
All right. So, Fear the Walking Dead, so close, yet so far.
Yep.
Written by Marco Ramirez, speaking of Daredevil.
That's right.
See
Sons of Anarchy, Daredevil, Orange is the New Black.
Mm-hmm. And directed by Adam Davison, who directed the pilot episode.
Yep. And again, Community, the 8-bit episode, Hell on Wheels, Parenthood, etc.
Etc. So, do you get the impression from this episode that maybe this was intended as a 2-hour pilot that was chopped up into 2 episodes?
Yep, I definitely do.
Okay. I do too, because why would you have the same director directing both back to back unless it was split up?
And not just that, but it seemed to kind of be a similar tone and theme, and it.
Well, I think it had more going on because things are starting to break down pretty quickly.
Yeah, although it didn't really advance the "why is this happening" storyline. No. It advanced the.
We're never going to know what caused this thing. I got a
I
feeling.
hope we do.
I hope we do too, but I don't think we're ever going to find out at this rate. I'm not.
It doesn't look like it. I mean,
Hope is dwindling fast because society is already crumbling.
fast.
So I don't think we're ever going to find that out. And if we do, it's
Yeah.
going to be like 10 years down the road.
Now, I really want to know. Maybe I'll look it up before next week, but I want to know: is this how fast society would crumble?
I actually read up on this a little bit,
Okay, good.
and according to what I read, I forget where, but I read that they were saying that a city like Los Angeles would eventually be in that kind of a, like, say, a viral plague would be completely go under in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's pretty realistic then.
pretty much. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
we don't know timeline-wise how far we're into it. Like, we don't know how much time has passed between when, in the first episode, when Travis and Madison and Nick run Calvin over with the car,
Right.
and this episode. We don't know I mean,
It's the same day.
it's kind of, I would think it would be later that same day, but
It is
yeah.
because they're driving away from the scene at the beginning of this episode.
But yeah, we're pretty much
But-
getting like riots now. We're getting, like the cops are shooting people left and right.
Right. And we're seeing a lot of people eating people.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
You're basically like your next door neighbor may turn zombie and may go across the street and chow down on kids in a bouncy castle. But
yep.
now
Exactly.
one thing I was disappointed with this episode, there were no zombies in the bouncy castle.
I know that would have been great, right?
How awesome would it be to see zombies in a bouncing castle? Like trying to walk around.
Yeah. It would have been great.
Tell me that would not have been a great image.
It would have been fantastic.
Kids running from there's like,
Yeah.
like a zombie comes in the bouncy castle. Such a wasted opportunity.
I know it would have been fantastic.
It depressed me. That
Yeah. Were you waiting for that through the whole
Yes,
episode?
I kind of was. I was like, I mean, it could still maybe happen next episode, but I kind of doubt. I would think the kids would be gone by now. Now that
Well, no, they took the bouncy castle down.
oh, that's true, they did.
Yeah, they deflated it.
So the kids didn't show up because
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
Everybody
Anyway.
called in.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But so picking up from last week's episode is that Alicia wants to check up on her boyfriend Matt,
Mm-hmm.
and she's
That's
still looking
not
for
doing
him.
too good.
Matt's not doing too good, so she goes over to his house, and she, looking around, and then all of a sudden she hears this zombie like gasp
Mm-hmm.
for air, going. And then, as the teaser, she like looks down at the floor and goes, "Holy crap!" or something like that.
Right.
But we don't.
Audible gasp.
Yeah, but we don't see what she was looking at, and then we got the credits. Okay, so.
Right.
Travis and Madison are still driving around with Nick in the truck after running Calvin over, like we were talking about.
Right. Headed home.
Headed home. Nick's like playing with the radio. He's like trying to find any kind of news about things that, like relating to what they just experienced. Nobody's talking about anything. They mention that there's a disaster, but guess what? It's a disaster over the local sports teams losing their quarterback.
Right.
And Nick's like, "Are you kidding me?
Right.
Seriously? Come on, people."
Well, I hate to say it, but I think that's how it would be.
I totally, at first, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we're idiots
Yeah.
and we're concerned about crap like that.
But
And it
Travis,
would be like, especially in LA, it would be like, oh my goodness, George Clooney's dead. Right? Wouldn't it be?
today on Entertainment Television, Kim Kardashian was eaten by a zombie. Yay!
Yay! Exactly.
No, we couldn't get that lucky.
She'd be last,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
She'd probably be the zombie that you couldn't get rid of. Or maybe she is a zombie. That's why we can't get rid of her. I don't know. But
Yeah,
anyway. All right. Enough of that.
that would be bad.
That would be very bad.
Yeah, but in LA, it would definitely be very shallow.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm sure that's why they put that in there
Mm-hmm.
to show us that the world would be,
No.
stupid. and on a smaller level,
Right.
we'd be smart, but on a bigger level, we'd be really
Yeah,
dumb.
they'd probably be more like being LA, like somebody would be like upset because some like group of zombies scratched their side of their Lexus or something,
Right. Exactly.
right?
Muffy, the Lexus is damaged.
Now that's more like northeastern, but
Oh, there's some of that there.
there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bel Air and
Okay.
all that. Yeah.
All right. So Travis
Come
and
on, Dad. Cut it
Travis
out.
Travis and Madison are starting to plan though, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, we got to get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Madison suggests the desert, which is actually a pretty good idea,
Mm-hmm.
except the fact that, well, it's desert, there's no water there or food.
Yeah.
But so unless you stock up and hole up, but
There is some if
Yeah.
you find places, but they do have to go and take Alicia away from Matt first,
right, yeah, that's the
which was
problem.
a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, they end up like Alicia calls, says that she's over at Matt, he's not looking too good. Come over and take a look at him.
That was a little tense, actually.
Yeah,
I was kind of tense, on the edge of my seat
that's
about
good.
that.
That's good tension though.
Yeah, it was because
So-
I wasn't sure whether.
Yeah, they show up and Madison, I think, is kind of funny because she's telling Alicia, like, you might want to get away from him.
Yeah,
But Alicia is like, no, he's my boyfriend. I'm not going anywhere.
mhm. I thought it was very noble of Matt to realize,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't
Yeah.
good. Get away.
Well, I mean, they peel back his shirt from his shoulder, and it's got a big bite, chompy bite.
Right.
Like,
Now, do you think they're thinking zombie, or do you think they're just thinking?
no, I think, and this is what I think it's kind of something they've established in The Walking Dead, is that zombies don't exist in this fictional universe.
It's just a plague.
Yeah, it's just, like there may be Star Wars, there may be, like The Princess Bride, but there's no like zombie movies
Okay.
for whatever reason.
So it's just some horrible plague.
So ironically, the world without the zombie movies has actual zombies in it
Okay.
because they have no reference point. Nobody says, "Hey, that guy looks like a zombie."
Okay.
Like 28 days later, you don't get those kind of pop culture references.
All right. So they don't think zombie, but there's definitely something happening.
Right. There's like some kind of just strange, illness.
Right. So get away.
Yeah, like
And they haven't figured out how it spreads yet.
mm-hmm.
But they do know if they have like this open wound, like Matt has, get away.
Yeah. Now maybe it's kind of like maybe they have Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and they kind of say, well, he's one of them now.
Okay.
They could reference that, I guess.
Okay. Something like that.
That's my guess.
All right. Because they can see that, you can come back from the dead, or you're very hard to kill, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And meanwhile, Travis's idiot kid Chris is on a downtown bus, and there's like apparently people are really upset because this guy got shot by the cops.
A homeless guy, right?
Homeless, yeah. Apparently, like this guy gets on Chris's bus. He's like, "Dude, there was like this homeless guy, and the cop shot him like 20 times.
Right.
Everybody,
And-
come on, let's go!" And they all get off the bus.
That's kind of I'm sure that's an allegory for
Yeah.
our times, right? I mean,
Well, I mean, with all the cops killing people, and it's without getting too political and all that. It's really prophetic timing
yeah, it
to
is.
have this airing at this time in history.
Sure.
So
I can see why the producers and the directors and the writers might want to insert something like this in there and say, look, I can see why they'd overlook something like this as just a cop crime.
right, I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been outrage. It's like, oh, they're showing the cops.
Well,
being shooting people in the street again. They're just trying to feed that hysteria.
but this is a horror show.
Right.
So, I mean, if people do balk at it,
Yeah.
all they have to say is, it is a commentary on our times.
I'm
If
glad
you
there's
don't like it, don't watch.
Well, I'm glad there's no outrage.
Right. Me too.
Because that's all we
I'm
got.
sure there is, but
There are plenty of outrage to go around. We don't.
yeah.
We don't need more. So
Yeah.
thanks.
I just raise it as, I'm sure that they put it in. They probably wrote it
Yeah.
already, but they're reinforcing this. Of course there would be protests because, that's what happens.
Yeah.
There's protests because the police shoot innocent bystanders.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, look at what happens. It helps to spread the disease. And because it puts all these protesters, so it's like a big group of people all in one little space.
Mm-hmm.
And there's these other people that are infected, and the policemen are getting infected. And then they're also helping, they're trying to keep the protesters back, and they're infecting the protesters.
Pretty much. Yep.
Then the riot police come in, and they're helping to keep everyone in the area, which is just hurting.
It just feeds on it, and which is why you can understand, hey, this is why the entire big city like LA would go down in 3 days.
Exactly right.
Yep.
So it's showing how this big city becomes a tiny environment.
Mm-hmm. It's a domino effect.
Right. And that scene I thought was really amazing when they showed little snippets of each little part of the crime scene.
Yeah.
Here's the policewoman, here's this guy being treated by the EMT, and of course that EMT is going to go next, and they show the guy on the ground, and they show the riot gear police, and they it was a great scene, I thought.
Yeah.
And then they show that they show Travis and
are you talking about Chris with a camera, or you?
Yes, Chris with the camera and the protester, and his name is Protester. He doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
Yeah, well, the cop tells Chris to put the camera down, and Protester says, no, keep it up.
Right.
We want to keep filming.
Right. There's that scene, and then there's the other scene where Travis and Liza have come to take Chris away. Mm-hmm. So those two scenes together are showing that little microcosm of the scene, and they do little quick cuts in both of those scenes showing the pieces of that puzzle that are coming together to make this horrible little petri dish. Mm-hmm. And it's just terrible. And by the way, let me add this in real quick. That policeman is played by Kevin.
Easy for you to say.
Otzi? I don't know how to say his name.
How do you spell it?
Ohtsji.
Otzi. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just taking a guess.
But he played Oshu in SG-1.
Okay.
It was a recurring role. And the protester was William Big Sleep Stewart. Mm-hmm. And he was in Grace Point and Fringe and True Justice. So they're both actual named people in rather large roles. And I think it's funny that they were just kind of
protester
cameos in this. Yeah. I think they were, picked.
Yeah. Maybe they're like
in the show.
Do you think maybe they're like friends of like producers and like, oh yeah, here, we'll give you a cameo role.
Right. Or they are fans of The Walking Dead.
Maybe
and they
super fans or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they I just think it was pretty cool that they were in this scene. So
I'm kind of surprised Chris Hardwick has not made it onto one of these Walking Dead shows in a cameo.
He couldn't be in it. That would break the fourth wall. Because he does the Talking Dead. He would have to be a zombie.
That's what I'm saying. Even as a zombie.
Yeah, he would have to be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Or else he'd have to come on.
Or he dies like really quick in a cameo.
Well, or he could be
like
on the
TV.
in-joke.
Like an in-joke,
Yeah.
Or on the TV. That's good.
Yeah.
Like as a character is walking through the room or something on Fear the Walking Dead. Because obviously.
In the background.
Yeah.
Doing at midnight or
news.
something.
There you go. That would be funny.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
hashtag wars, zombie LA or something.
Ding, ding. So anyway, I thought it was interesting that those two actors were in that scene. Anyway.
That's okay. So the Clark family comes home, and Mrs. Cruz across the street is helping set up that kids' party.
That's right.
For her 9-year-old daughter, who's having a birthday today.
Yep. Andrea Savo.
Yep.
Is the actress who plays her.
We know her from anywhere?
Nope.
Okay. So
I just thought I'd get her name in there.
Okay. I'm sure she appreciates it.
Yep.
And apparently a lot of people canceled on this particular party because there's a bug going around.
Yeah. Well, that's what they keep saying through the whole thing.
Yep. So, and meanwhile, you got your neighbor over there. Like he's packing up his car and he's like, gonna be a zombie, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Madison's like, okay, and Nick's like, Nick asks her, he goes, like, are you gonna go tell the neighbors about this?
No.
Man,
Well, there's no answer really.
well, Madison's like, I don't know what's going on, dude.
Right.
but okay, I'll talk to the neighbor.
Right.
So it's like, thanks for making the minimum effort there, Madison. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Travis is trying to get a hold of his ex-wife and can't get a hold of him. So Madison's like, okay, go after them.
Mm-hmm.
Go get it. Go get them. Go rescue them. And Travis goes out the door and he's like, like, look, if I'm going to be a while, go ahead and go to the desert without me.
Right.
And Madison's like, no, we're not going to the desert without you. No, go on without me.
Yeah.
And,
Dumb.
yeah. So, but they can't.
She should have gone just right then.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But she's staying there in order to help to ease Nick's withdrawal symptoms.
Pretty much. Yeah. Nick's having a rough go because he's going through withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
He's all like shaky on the couch. Madison's trying to call his doctor to get his medicine. And Alicia's like, he's not going to be able to travel.
No. Well, he would have been all right, probably.
Yeah, but Madison's like, hey, I've got a great idea. The school.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, okay, take care of your druggy brother. I'm going to this.
Don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave. So what does Alicia do? She
tries to leave.
Yeah, she tries to leave. So Madison goes back to the school.
Yep.
And of course she goes to that annoying metal detector that will not die.
Yeah. But who cares? There's no one in the school.
Yeah, she's looking around. She's like, where is everybody?
Yep. Well, the school's closed. She knows the school's closed.
But you'd think there'd be like a security guard or something.
Yeah. No one.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Or like principal.
Well, he was there.
Yeah, the principal monitoring everybody.
Yeah.
So she goes to the principal's office to get this key. And then she goes and opens up a medicine cabinet and starts pulling out drugs, various pills and whatnot.
She opens it with the crowbar, though.
Yeah, she does.
The key only gets into the nurse's office.
That's true.
I'm sure the nurse is the only one that has the key to the medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
And she opens it with the crowbar.
She does have to break in. You're right. Yeah.
She only gets the top open. And when I was watching, I kept feeling the hurt on my arm because when you stick your hand into
weren't you waiting for her to cut her arm open?
Yes, I was.
Just reached in there
because it's really sharp when you do something.
Yeah, and this is like metal, and she's bent it, and it's got to be sharp from that crowbar.
I know. So I'm thinking that most people that are listening to us probably felt that same way, right?
Pretty much.
Because a locker, if you've ever stuck your hand into a locker or anything like that, it's really, really sharp.
And for you Walking Dead fans, I was waiting for this to be what's his name on the Walking Dead? The the guy who got his arm cut open. You know who I'm talking about?
Daryl's brother?
No. Oh. He was like the black guy that was with the first group, or like early couple seasons.
Okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I can't remember the character's name.
I don't remember his name.
So, yeah. See, we forget
you. Sacrificed.
We forget you if you die. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got sacrificed.
So, no apologies.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he cut his arm open really bad once.
Right.
And so I was waiting for that. Anyway.
And he's taped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl had to protect him because they were like they were on the highway, and half the group's looking for Sophia, and then there's like a zombie herd coming, so they all had to hide under the cars. And what's his name slices his arm open and cuts it really bad. He's bleeding out everywhere. You know what I'm talking about?
But yes, but he's the guy that Rick's former partner, who had the affair with his wife, sacrificed.
Yeah.
Right outside the prison yard or whatever.
Well, no, it was like when they were going into the prison.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't sacrifice. He self-sacrificed himself. to fend off walkers because he got bit. And
Okay.
then he sacrificed himself to stay behind.
Okay. Got it. I know who you're talking about,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. So
I love that show.
yeah. Anyway, so but who shows up there while Madison's doing this? But current Fear the Walking Dead MVP Tobias,
Yeah.
who is
Yeah,
apparently
he's great.
the only guy who knows what's going on in this show. Smartest
He's-
guy in the room.
He's us.
Yeah, apparently he's smarter than everybody else in the cast.
Yeah.
So he shows up. He's like, "Can I have my knife back?"
Well,
Was he there like looking for it? I just want to know why he happened to be there at that particular moment.
but if you remember, it was locked in her desk.
Right.
So maybe he had been trying to jimmy her desk.
Maybe.
He couldn't get it done. But they started out like he's like the cat in Alien.
Yeah.
this
Oh, Jones.
big looming figure.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, it's gonna get her, and then it turns, oh, it's Tobias.
Yep.
Why did they do that? It's every episode. Last episode it was
the
Art.
principal. Well, yeah. The principal. Yeah.
And this week it's a shadow comes over her, and then bloop, it's Tobias. Oh,
Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Bum, bum, bum.
it's just happy Tobias. Yeah.
It's the Jaws theme played by the Price is Right fail theme.
Exactly. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the good news is he is not a fail.
No. This is a good thing for Madison if she would just pay attention to him and what he's telling. He's trying to give her advice, and it's Madison's being really stupid here, which is one of the reasons it kind of affected my grade, Madison's stupidity in this episode.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into. So they kind of like Madison gives Tobias the knife. She kind of takes a last look at the guidance office, which may be the last time she sees that office.
I'm thinking
if it all goes down, because they kind of did a little lingering shot, so I'm figuring that was for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like say goodbye to your old life, Madison.
I'm guessing that was the analogy.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be the same.
Pretty much. Alicia brings Nick some food and water. You hear the little girl across the street crying because apparently nobody came.
Nobody came to my party. Yeah.
And then Nick barfs on the carpet.
Yep. Well.
Yeah.
It's withdrawals.
Yeah, pretty much. So Alicia
they're trying to fool people into thinking he's sick with the plague.
Oh, you mean no? I think everybody kind of thinks it's withdrawal at this point.
Yeah, I know, but I mean us, because I'm not fooled at all.
No, because he's not coughing.
Okay, good.
I'm not fooled.
I'm not either.
He's not coughing, so I don't.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
He doesn't have the fevery temp, and he's not coughing.
Okay.
So, so Alicia's like, screw this, I'm out of here. Puts her backpack on, gets ready to leave, and Nick's like, don't go outside. If you go outside, you're gonna die, and I don't want you to die.
And Mom told you to stay.
That too.
He does say that.
I believe it. Yeah. So she's like, anyway, Nick starts convulsing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like Alicia kind of rolls her eyes up and goes, God damn it, and goes back inside.
Yep. And she is close with her brother.
Right.
So
she doesn't want to be, she hates the fact that her brother is such a loser, but she feels responsible for him.
Right.
So
I guess it's a good thing that he starts convulsing.
Yeah.
At that point. But still, Alicia, come on.
Yeah.
You dumb.
Oh, you mean going out in the first place? Or...
Trying to leave, yeah.
Yeah.
When someone says don't leave, don't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, really, don't leave. Watch your brother. He's really sick.
So, meanwhile, back to Tobias and Madison. Tobias has to explain to Madison how looters work.
Yeah.
Which I think is like...
Again.
Insulting.
Yeah.
And he asks her if she's seen any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Madison has, but she lies.
Yeah. I don't get it. Why doesn't she say, yeah, I have?
I mean, Tobias knows what's going on. You don't have to sugarcoat it. This is the one kid you don't have to sugarcoat it, and you're sugarcoating it.
Right. I mean, at the very least, she can say, look, I don't know what it is, but I've seen people that are sick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because duh.
So, yeah. So Tobias shows her the food pantry, who, like, again, Tobias is the smartest person in the room here, apparently.
Right.
He gets a cart to load the pantry because, hey, he figures, well, we need something to carry this.
Uh-huh.
Do I have to think of everything for you?
Right. Right.
I'm the adult, apparently.
Right.
So he does that, and it says, you better stock up. But Madison, of course, is still in her state of denial, being Egypt, and is like, whatever, dude. It's going to be okay.
I see what you did there.
State of denial being Egypt. You like that? Yeah. Okay.
Very nice.
So Alicia's cleaning up Nick's barf on the carpet, vomit,
Yeah.
which I think was kind of funny. It's like, okay, there's a zombie apocalypse going to happen, and you're worrying about cleaning vomit off the carpet.
To
But
her credit,
she doesn't know yet. Yeah. So he wakes up and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I threw up on the carpet.
Yeah.
And
get me the bucket.
And then in the really tragic, the thing that Walking Dead can do so well, you hear the family across the street singing happy birthday to that little 9-year-old girl.
Yep.
Just as the power cuts out.
Yep.
Record scratch.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. So I thought that was nice and tragic, and yeah.
It is.
It's a great way to just show how oh, you're just having a nice little happy moment. Oh, guess what? We just took that away from you. Kicked you in the butt. Kicked you in the nuts. Sorry about that.
Wait, do you have a tablecloth there? Let me pull it out from under.
Exactly. You know that rug you're standing on? Whoops. Yeah.
That's right. And your cake is not going to stay on the table.
The flowers are still standing.
But no.
Ghostbusters reference.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
Tobias tells Madison that, hey, you know what? The desert is actually a pretty good idea because let me break this down for you, bitch. Okay. Electricity is going to go down. The servers are going to go down. The internet's going to go down. Everything will fall.
Mm-hmm.
And he says this one line, which pretty much sums up the point of this episode and maybe the series. When civilization falls, it ends fast.
Yep.
So that's the theme, kids.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to beat you over the head with. Madison, still skeptical at this point.
Right.
What else has to happen for her to buy into this?
I don't know.
So
does she have to run over a guy?
I don't know. So they're getting ready to leave, and this is another frustrating moment.
Uh-huh.
But they hear something on the principal's classroom monitor, which apparently he left on.
Mm-hmm.
So they rush down the hallway. Madison, this is which made me crazy at this point. Madison sees the principal, Artie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Artie?
Now, having seen already Calvin as a zombie.
Right.
Who got ran over several times by a truck and still kept coming.
And then she saw Matt, who was bitten
and
started deteriorating
right.
badly, knowing that
yeah,
once these guys turn into whatever it is with the plague,
yep.
you don't want to get near them. In fact, trying to get Alicia away from Matt
right.
in order to stop her from getting whatever it is.
Yep.
She walks up to Art and tries to talk to him.
Well, not only that, but she says she's acting like, I can help you.
Right.
And I'm screaming at the TV at this point. What the hell are you doing, Madison?
Right. I didn't get it.
He's got blood running down his back. He's got white eyes.
Yeah.
Does that look normal to you that he has white eyes?
Right.
No,
he wasn't even as bad as Matt.
I can help you.
Yeah.
It's just she just so I don't want to get political again, but super liberal, protective with this.
I don't know.
I can save you. No,
was she disassociated?
Maybe.
That he was her friend, and that's all she was thinking about.
Maybe. I don't know, but go ahead.
At least Matt was normal.
Mm-hmm.
But she was still trying to get Alicia away from him.
Right.
Artie was not.
Yeah.
And she was still walking right up to him.
And then until the point where Art's trying to eat her.
Right.
Like,
And Tobias
yeah, thank God for Tobias, because Tobias, who was apparently the only one with his head in the game,
saved her ass.
pulls out Mr. Pocket Knives. Hey, thanks for giving that back to me just in time, and starts
Right.
stabbing at him in the gut. Tries to stab him through the head, but
Yeah.
does a miserable fail.
Well, to be honest, I'm sure he never stabbed anyone before.
But he's probably like living the high school dream, like, I got to stab the principal.
Yeah.
Yay! Yep.
Yeah.
And they take a tumble down the stairs.
Yeah.
Tobias is like, and I got really nervous for Tobias at this point.
I did too. I thought for sure.
I'm like, Madison, if you get Tobias bitten by Artie, I'm gonna be so pissed. That's it.
Because you're
We're
being
done.
a dumbass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I would be angry as.
So yeah, so he's fighting to not get bitten.
Yeah.
And Madison's like, what do I do? Oh, here's a fire extinguisher. Okay, good. Get the fire extinguisher. Bang. Oh, doesn't work. Bang. Let me try. All right, I guess I have to do this a little harder then. Bang.
Yeah.
And then finally beats him, and then bashes
And
his head in.
luckily bashes his head in because
That's
as we know from watching The Walking Dead,
because we're pros.
that's the only way you can get rid of him.
Headshot. Yeah. Yep.
Headshot.
But
And of course, Zombieland.
Yep. Now they're all freaked out by this point, so they leave the building without the canned food in the cart.
I know. I know.
And I'm screaming at the TV at this point. The food you just were gonna take out, and you leave it there. There's no other threats.
They don't know that though.
No, but
we do.
You think you'd at least make an effort, but they're both freaked out, I guess. So they hop in Madison's Camry and drive off.
To be fair, they just killed someone.
Right.
I'd be freaked out.
It's a little freaky, but still, you think eventually you'd be like, you'd start driving down the street like, oh yeah, we forgot the food. Go back.
We forgot the food. Let's go back.
Yeah, we go back and get the food.
And Tobias, rightfully so, says goodbye to Madison.
Yeah, that was good.
And parts ways.
Yeah.
Says, hey, well, thanks for saving me, but bye.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I like. Well, Madison drives Tobias back to his house. Now she does offer, say, hey, you could come with us, and we'll watch over you until this is over. And Tobias is like, it doesn't end.
Yeah. Well, to his credit, he doesn't laugh in her face.
No, but still, it's just like, do you not get this yet?
Right.
Do you still not get it? This is it. It's done. Where society is done. I explained this to you. Everything's going to go down. And
I know. He's the only smart one.
He's the only smart one.
But not just that. I mean, yes, she saved him, but only at the very last minute.
Yes.
Because there was no other choice.
Right.
And I think Tobias sees the writing on the wall there.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, though, is this kind of like that moment when Rick in the pilot episode shot that little girl zombie? Is that the moment where he kind of realizes, like, well, this is what I'm in for?
Maybe.
So maybe it kind of starts her down the path she needs to be with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, maybe, but he doesn't know that.
No.
All he sees is that she has no idea what she's in for.
Yeah, I know. Tobias.
And I'll probably be better off without you.
And he probably will.
And he doesn't know that, she's got Travis and all these other people. Travis and Nick are probably going to be her saving grace.
Yeah.
And they might meet up because, he's one of the main characters so far, at least.
Right.
So they may band together at some point.
Now, I posted this on Twitter, but my ideal fantasy is that we don't see Tobias again until like season 3. And when he comes back, he has like a chainsaw for hand, being all badass and save everybody. How great would that be?
Like Ash.
Like Ash.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
And just start chopping like zombies up going groovy.
And he's got an eye patch.
Yeah.
Right?
How great would that be? Is that
would be amazing.
Tobias is the badass.
He'd be like Daryl. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Something like, the ultimate killing machine. Like a cross between like Daryl, Shane, Rick,
Yeah.
Michonne, like maybe he's got a sword too or something like Michonne.
Sure.
Carol, even like the later seasons Carol.
So he's got like a chainsaw as his left hand and a sword.
Something like that. Like he can use a chainsaw and a sword at the same time.
Yeah.
Like one hand he uses the katana, and then another he's got the chainsaw.
Right, and he's got an eye patch that's like embedded in his head because he's been wearing it so long, and then a scar that goes like all over his face down. Oh, that would be so awesome! So awesome!
He just shows up out of nowhere to save everybody, and Madison be like wide-eyed, going,
"Tobias, is that you?" Yeah.
How great would that be?
Yeah, but he's still pudgy.
Yes. with bad skin.
Because he went back and he got the supplies.
Right.
From the school, and he's still like,
that food you dropped, I went back for it because you're an idiot.
And he's like a homeless person. He still has the cart with him.
Too. No, but the cart has like all kinds of machine guns and stuff.
Right.
Weapons.
It's motorized.
Grenades or something.
Oh my god!
It's Tobias's battle cart.
That would be amazing. Okay, we're writing this in our head. This is our fan fiction.
Yes, exactly.
So Tobias is going to be the badass in our head.
I want this to happen so bad. Fear the Walking Dead people, if you're listening somehow to this podcast, make Tobias a badass, please. I'm begging you.
Please.
This would be so great. So great.
He has to stay pudgy, though.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't work unless he stays pudgy because that has all the impact, right?
That's what makes him. Yeah, it makes him cool.
Right, because he has managed to keep all his vices and yet still kick everybody's ass.
And can't lose the weight.
Right. Well, he doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't want to sacrifice what he loves.
That's true. It's like, I got my box of Twinkies. I'm happy. I'm good.
That's right. I'm a badass. I don't need to sacrifice my Twinkies. I can always go and get more Twinkies.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be hilarious.
He's so great. Let's do that. Let's do it.
All right.
I'll have to contact Robert Kirkman and tell him.
Please. All right. Oh, that was awesome.
Can't stop laughing.
Yeah, I know. So
bring it in my head. I'll see if I can get my husband.
It gets better. Just the more you think of it. That's why
I know, right?
I was on Twitter. I was like, yes. Tobias has to have a chainsaw hand. I'm envisioning.
And now the battle cart.
Yes, in the battle cart.
Oh God, he's put a seat on it.
We need like an action figure with Tobias, a chainsaw hand, and like a little battle cart accessory.
Oh, with food that you can, like cans of food that you can put in, and
how great!
Hand grenades, little box
merchandising potential right here.
Oh, so good.
Oh my God! All right, we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. So there's a downtown riot.
And Madison gets the meds.
Yes, Madison gets the meds.
She gets the OxyContin.
Yeah. She goes back. Yeah, after dropping Tobias off. She goes back home and she gets like Nick's all excited because she brought home drugs. It's like his drug sense was tinkling.
Right. And I love the first thing he does after
drugs.
He crushes up some oxy and puts it in his drink, and he's metering it out, which is good.
Right.
And then he goes, "Oh, by the way, Madison almost left."
You mean
what a tattletale?
Alicia, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alicia almost left.
Yeah.
And what a tattletale, right? I mean.
Meanwhile, Madison's got like bloody sleeves from killing Artie.
Right.
So she's like,
"Out, damn Spot.
Yeah.
Out."
Yeah. So she goes to the tub and she's like trying to rush. Must get the blood out. Get the red out. Get it out. And she's kind of checking out a little bit at this point.
In her Macbethian moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Travis calls her. Madison tells him that she's got enough drugs to wean Nick off his addiction.
To make it to the desert. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. And then Travis hears like an explosion and it's like, Madison, go to the desert.
Right. And he is with Liza and Chris at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah, they hole up in this barber shop.
Yep.
And there's like what is it here? There's like this guy Daniel who's trying to close up.
The Salazar family.
Salazar family, thank you. Yeah, he's trying to close up the barbershop because, hey, there's a riot going on. Don't want my shop trashed. Because if you saw that 7-Eleven down there in Charlotte, yeah. So,
Yep. Exactly.
so or wait, no, not Charlotte. Baltimore.
Yes, Baltimore.
That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, so Daniel's like was it Nick Madison? I'm sorry, Travis and Liza show up and they're like, hey, let us in. And Daniel's like, no, I really don't want to do that, until his wife nags him, Ophelia.
Yep, because she is Christian and she
Yeah.
gets a feeling they should let him in, which is
Ophelia's like, let him in, dude.
right.
So
Now these are played by very famous people. Ruben Blades.
Yeah.
Predator-ish. Dead Man Out. So many things. I mean, just anything.
Ruben Blades.
And his wife is played by Patricia Reyes Spindola.
Okay.
She's been in a lot of Spanish movies. She's quite famous overseas. And then their daughter is also there, Ophelia Salazar. She's played by Mercedes Mason.
Okay.
And it's not Mason, it's Mason.
Mason?
Yeah. She was in Chuck.
And, that's where you know her from, right?
She is an incredible Twitter follow.
Okay.
She is so dirty on Twitter.
I can respect that.
Yeah, she's very bawdy. She was on Anger Management, NCIS, Californication. She was also in 666 Park Avenue.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
But she's great. I think she'll be really good on this. So I'm a huge fan of hers.
Okay.
In real life. And she interacts with her Twitter followers a lot.
Which is always good.
Right. So she might be busy with this, but odds are if you follow her and chat with her on Twitter that at some point you'll get a response from her.
Well, if she's taking a break on the set or whatever, she probably checks her Twitter account, and there you go.
Yeah, let her know that you like the scene or whatever, and she'll probably favorite you or whatever. Cool. She is so dirty, so get ready if you're. She talks about farting and I mean, not just that, but all kinds of stuff. Being naked. And
ooh, hey now.
All kinds of, seriously.
All right.
But she's great.
I think I just got a new follow to. Hold on. Click. Okay.
She's great. Yeah. So she plays Ophelia Salazar.
Okay.
The daughter of the couple.
Right. Which kind of makes me wonder. It's like, well, eventually are Chris and Ophelia going to hook up, or what's going to happen?
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't know.
She is actually Mercedes Mason on Twitter. I mean, that's her Twitter name.
Got it.
So.
Okay. So Madison goes into Alicia's room after her bath, I guess. And Alicia's a little freaked out that Madison's crying. And Alicia asks what happened, but Madison's like, walks straight out, doesn't say a word.
Yep.
I'm not going to talk now. I'm in full shutdown mode.
Yeah, she doesn't like that there's blood all over her jacket, and it's a reminder of killing Art.
Yep.
It's not just killing, but it's killing Art.
So she's like, I'm going to go pack the car.
Yeah.
The riots continue where Travis is held up. That lovely coughing neighbor, Mr. Dawson, you hear a scream across the street, and they look out. Alicia looks out the window and kind of sees Mr. Dawson going nom 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 on Mrs. Cruz or whomever.
Yep, Mrs. Cruz.
So rest in peace there, Mrs. Cruz.
Yep.
And I guess Mr. Dawson too, because he's dead. But
munch in peace.
Yeah, munch in peace. Nom nom.
Yep.
With some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Their next door neighbor, Peter, played by Noah Beggs. We don't know him from anywhere, but And Alicia's
kind of freaking out. She's like, Mom, we got to go help this woman who's getting nommed on.
She's gonna die.
Well, she's dead already, but Alicia's like, wants to go help. At least Alicia wants to go help, but Madison's like, just stay in the house, honey.
Right.
Just sit your ass down. Close the blinds.
Yeah. Don't watch. I mean, doesn't she say something like that? Don't look.
Yeah, don't look. Something like that.
Yeah, just don't look.
And we're kind of left. The episode ends with like Daniel's wife is praying. Travis is looking at himself in a mirror because apparently he's got to check his hair, make sure it looks cool. And the candles for the prayer are blown out.
Yep.
Ominous.
And that's us fading to black.
Fade to black. And then don't stop believing.
Okay, Sopranos reference.
You said fade to black.
Let's not go there. That was the worst ending.
It was the worst ending. I love The Sopranos.
I did too, but that was a horrible ending.
It was a horrible ending.
I would have rather seen him gunned down.
Yeah, I would too.
It was just a bad ending.
Yeah.
Anyway. And I also have.
But it's fun to make fun of.
I know. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So anything
I
else?
have a list of the zombified people.
Yeah.
This episode: Art,
Mm-hmm.
Matt, Peter, and Mrs. Cruz.
Okay.
Peter's the next door neighbor. You had his last name?
I had it was Mr. Dawson. So maybe
Okay.
Peter Dawson.
You heard the kids, and I heard the adults.
Yeah.
The adults called him Peter.
I heard Mr. Dawson. That's what I got.
Okay.
So cool.
So those were the people
So
we saw.
we pieced it together.
zombified.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't do a in memoriam. We need like in memoriam music.
I'll get that.
Just like a Talking Dead or something. Get the Talking Dead music.
Yeah.
Not that we steal or anything. No.
We do that on Under the Dome on the Chester's Mill Gazette. We do an obituaries column
Oh, that's cool.
for everyone who dies each week. So we'll do a zombified thing. I'll get a zombified music for
That's
this
cool.
because there's going to be zombies every episode, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
More and more.
So we'll do that. And every episode where there's someone that's been turned, that's a name at least.
Like Artie.
Right.
Yeah,
like Artie in this one.
Artie is
Yeah.
it.
We'll
Okay,
have a zombified thing.
So what was your rating for this episode?
My rating, because again, it's kind of a sideways arc.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we went a little forward, but we didn't learn anything about the virus and where it started or anything, which is frustrating me.
And we're not going to. I'm sorry.
I know.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think it's happening.
And Madison is very frustrating.
They lied to us.
Or I would have given it a higher grade. I give it 7.5 fire extinguishers.
I can see that. Very nice. I was a little more complimentary, but not by much again. I went with 8 out of 10 abandoned carts full of canned goods left behind.
Battle carts.
Battle carts. Yeah, abandoned battle carts.
I swear to God, if someone can draw that, man, if I had money, I would pay them.
Tobias with a chainsaw hand, a katana in the other hand, and his battle cart full of like grenades and weapons and stuff. A bazooka.
In leathers?
A bazooka or something, yeah.
In like salvaged leather.
Like Terminator or something.
Right.
With Terminator shades or something.
Right. And an eye patch and a big scar on his face, but still kind of tubby.
Yeah. He has the eye patch and then sunglasses over the eye patch.
Awesome. It's still kind of broken out.
Yeah.
On his face.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the battle cart.
Okay.
And it has to be like a grocery cart altered into this battle cart.
I know. Okay.
Oh my God.
So
I'm
anything
going
else?
to be thinking of that forever.
That's going to be great, isn't it?
I know.
Okay.
We'll have to add on to that.
I know we've pitched art competitions before, but please make this happen because this would be great.
I want that so bad.
I'm still waiting for my like the little garage version of the arrow cave.
Yeah. Yeah, the man cave arrow cave.
The man cave arrow cave. Where's that? We're still waiting for that.
We've had people talk about it on our Facebook page, but no artwork.
Yeah, come on. We need some artists.
Yeah,
some
the milk crates and the lava lamp.
Even if you can't draw, try to draw it.
Right.
Because that would be great. Even if it's still like stick figures, that would be great.
Right.
If you
or,
do stick figures.
Photoshop it would be.
We need Justina or something. Just do something.
That's right.
Justina, if you're listening, and I'm guessing you are, this would be the good time to step up there.
She's great with the
pictures
and the
we love Justina.
I know, big time.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about, or is that?
Well, I did put some news up on our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. Let me go through and see.
I've
I
got a few
put
things.
I put Lincoln
Mm-hmm.
from Agents of Shield. His name will be Sparkplug.
Which is
Sparkplug.
embarrassing. Yeah.
I know.
Like, that's the best code name you could come with? Sparkplug.
I know.
It's like it should be like right out of Transformers.
Yeah. Stephen Ryder joins Daredevil as a series regular.
Yep.
If you have any of these as news
No, go ahead.
things, you can go into them in depth.
That's right.
Robin Lord Taylor explains why he loves playing Penguin, Gotham. The article about the episode 2 ratings on Fear the Walking Dead. Blake Neely's an article with Blake Neely, an interview with Blake Neely about his compositions for Arrow and the Flash. An Inhuman presence on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and there's some other stuff in that article.
Okay.
And then a thing about the Arrow trailer. This is the one I was telling you about that has the scenes, scene by scene.
Right.
And it shows you each scene.
Cool.
The highlights, 22 highlights.
Constantine, yay!
Yeah. And then a comic reel link to Legends of Tomorrow. The cast assembles Arrow's Lady Cop strikes out. It has some other stuff. The rollout of the CW's returning superhero shows. Blah, blah, blah. I also have a link to an Aquaman hosting the world's worst kids show called Robot Sticks, which is not exactly news, but funny. And then the Walking Dead trailer.
Right.
Which is nothing new. It's just very dark and brooding and
usual.
Yeah.
The usual.
Doesn't tell us anything about the show.
I posted a few things on Damn Good Coffee and Hot that I put on our Facebook page as well.
Excellent.
One is Luke Cage, the upcoming Marvel Netflix series that takes place after Jessica Jones, has cast Simone Messick as Misty Knight. So Misty Knight's a very badass character, so I'm looking forward to that. Supergirl has been casting like crazy.
Yes, big time.
They've cast Red Tornado and Tio Morrow, played by the same actor.
Yeah.
So well, because in the comics, Tio Morrow, Thomas Oscar Morrow, creates the Red Tornado.
Right.
So maybe it makes sense that he creates the Red Tornado to look exactly like him on the show.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure.
And then also they've cast Sam Lane. So because they're introduced Lucy Lane, so of course you got to have Dad around to cause trouble because yeah. And then the Flash has cast Tony Todd, who's been in everything.
Yes.
You best know him as Kern on Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes.
And also as the adult Jake Sisko from the cool Visitor episode of Deep Space Nine, which still is like probably my favorite.
It's a good episode.
Love that episode. He's going to be the voice, interestingly, of Zoom in the second season. So the question is, who's the body? Who's physically playing Zoom? And I'm just like wondering, well, maybe we'll see the return of a certain Eddie Thawne.
Yeah.
Speculation on my part. Speculation on my part. They said,
but they say he's not going to be
They said he's not going to be on, but, hey, maybe they lie. And it'll be a surprise reveal that, Eddie Thawne is Zoom. So that's my shot. I'm calling it early.
Well, they say he's not going to be a cast member.
Right.
And that could be how they're squeaking around that he's just going to be a little recurring role.
But they were saying they were going to try to make this a mystery. But who better to be Zoom than the Reverse Flash's ancestor, Eddie Thawne?
Right.
If you're going to have the Reverse Flash and Zoom, why not have Eddie Thawne as Zoom?
Right.
Just saying. So
he could have very easily been taken into the.
So yeah, that's my shot. I'm calling it right here. We'll see if I'm right.
What do you call it? The Speed Force, right?
Yes.
So
it's all Speed Forcey, Warsy.
Like Doctor Who. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I can resist. Sorry.
Timey-wimey,
Forcey, Warsy. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Spacey, Wacy. All right. So Karen, where can they find you?
Me personally, I am at Oliveria.
Presumably they can't Skype you like I do, but
yeah, no, that's only for you and select people. Sorry.
I am glad to be on part of that select club.
Yeah. I'm at Oliveria on the Twitter machine. And there's an About Me link in my bio where all my other links live.
They're all linky.
They live there. Very linky, yes.
Very linky.
And
Exceedingly linky.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I'm at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine.
Si, senor.
Machine. And then on the Instagram at Charles Skaggs.
Mm-hmm.
The Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus.
I love it.
And that blog of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot. And I got a Facebook page, so I'm on Facebook too.
Yep.
So hit me
And then
up.
us in general.
Yes.
At
the Fandom Zone Podcast on Facebook.
That's right.
Or we're at Fandom Zonecast on Twitter, the Twitter machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally got a new follower on Facebook. We're up to 53. We can do better.
That's right.
Keep them coming.
That's right.
We want to at least get back up to 100. And then, we're on the Facebook, and then we're also on iTunes, of course. We'd love it if you left us a review on iTunes. That would be fabulous.
Mm-hmm. It would be very nice.
I'm as tired of repeating that as much as you're probably tired of hearing it. So
I always say this every time, though.
Yeah, I know. So
that's our job.
I know. So yeah, help us promote this show and pump it up and make it better.
But see, that's why we love doing this, because we're talking to our listeners.
Exactly. We need your help.
Love them.
So help us out.
But I love them.
If we made you laugh, help us out.
I love all of them.
All right.
I do.
So next week, we're going to be talking the Gotham pilot, because Fear the Walking Dead is taking a skip week after only 2 weeks.
A much deserved break.
Yeah. Okay.
Not.
You've been on 2 weeks. Okay, now we'll go on hiatus for a week.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Meanwhile, The Strain is a new episode, so I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But
I don't get it.
Same night.
What's on opposite that?
No, they're saying it's Labor Day weekend, so people won't be home to watch.
This is Labor Day weekend.
I know that.
Okay.
So I know that.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. So I guess we'll just be watching The Strain on Sunday nights, because Fear the Walking Dead is chicken.
I'm going to be watching Last Week Tonight.
Yeah. Well, there's
with
that.
John Oliver.
That's what I watch after The Strain.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we'll be watching the Gotham pilot, because Gotham's going to be starting up here season 2 pretty shortly. So we thought it might be fun to check that out. We haven't reviewed it, so I hope you dig that.
Yep, I've never reviewed it at all, ever.
I know I haven't, so we've got something to talk about.
Yep.
Because it's not quite perfect, so that should be fun.
No.
And
then the next Birds of Prey.
And then the next Birds of Prey, episode 11. We're almost done. Hang in there.
Yeah. I can't blame anyone but myself, because I chose Birds of Prey. It's a good series, though. It's just it doesn't really hold up as much as it did back then.
There's probably maybe 4 good episodes out of that 13.
Really good episodes.
Really good episodes, yeah, that we recommend. That you can watch and follow everything.
It's better than Full House.
That's true.
I mean, compare it to other shows from that time period, and it's better, but,
Right. All right. So for all of us here, Karen and myself here at the Fandom Zone podcast, I guess we'll be talking to you later. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Bye, everyone.